On episode 204 of the 40 Plus Fitness podcast, I'm going to discuss the three-monkey experiment and how that experiment might answer some questions you have about decisions that you make regarding your health and fitness. You can find the full show notes for this episode at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/204. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness Podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. Okay, so what is this monkey talk and this monkey experiment, and what does it really have to do about your health and fitness? Well, I want to go over this experiment because I think it really is very, very interesting and very, very telling about why some things might be happening in your life, particularly around your health and fitness decisions, that you really need to be considering why you're doing some of the things you're doing or why others may be doing the things that they're doing. So let me kind of set up this experiment. What they did was they had three monkeys that they put into a particular room or cage. And there was a pole for the monkeys to climb up. And at the top of the pole, there was some bananas. So obviously the three monkeys sitting in there, they see the bananas and smell them. So one of the monkeys goes to climb up the pole to get to the bananas. And they spray this monkey with water. So the monkey doesn't like the water. The monkey climbs back down the pole. Now the second monkey decides to climb up this same pole to get to those bananas. And this monkey is also sprayed with water and comes down to get away from that. Now, two of the monkeys have been sprayed. The third monkey is not. So the third monkey now is going to make an attempt to climb up the pole, but the other two monkeys stop the monkey from climbing the pole to basically save this monkey from the fate that they saw when they went to go get this banana. So the two monkeys stop this monkey from climbing up the pole. Now, they take the first monkey that got sprayed out and they put another monkey in. And obviously this monkey, not having any experience, sees the bananas, goes to try to climb up the pole. The other two monkeys pull the monkey back down to effectively, like I said, save it from the fate. And now they removed the second monkey, they'd also been sprayed, and they put another monkey in the room. Now that monkey, again, as predicted, went to try to climb up the pole, but the other two monkeys stopped it. Now the interesting thing is, none of the monkeys in the room had been sprayed by water. But intrinsically, they had been trained that what they were to do was to save the monkey from themselves, even though they didn't really fully understand what they were saving that monkey from, because they had not experienced it. So that's a monkey experiment. And you would think, okay, well, that doesn't apply to humans. Obviously, we humans would not, intrinsically believe something was dangerous and then therefore not want to do it without evidence. Well, of course we would. And there was another experiment that I'll link to in the show notes. You can find that at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/204. And this was done with people. And I don't want to blow the whole thing, but you can watch it. I'll have a link to the YouTube video. It's not very long. It's about 5 minutes. But in this experiment, what they did was they had one woman that was in a waiting room, and she was not privy to what this experiment was. And the rest of the people in the waiting room were. They were part of the testing team. So when a bell went off, everybody but her stood up. And by about the second or third time that this happened, she started standing up with them. And now they slowly started pulling people out of that room and adding new people that had, were not part of the experiment, didn't know what was going on. And eventually, every single one of them would do the same thing. They would stand up without even knowing why they were doing it. Everybody was standing up, and they would stand up too. Now, there were some individuals that resisted longer than others, which is interesting to kind of talk about in the context of whether you're an individual that's more likely to follow along or whether someone that you would maybe fight or resist some of that. But over time now, they had pulled out everyone who was a participant, per se, in making this happen, and everyone in the room was a new person that didn't know any reason why they would be standing up, but they all kept doing it. And it speaks to peer pressure, which I think is a big, big part of this, but it also just kind of speaks to a fact that if we don't fully understand something, we may have preconceived notions for why we're acting a certain way. And it's worth understanding why you feel a certain way or why you're engaged at a certain level to say, should I stop and question the way that I'm eating? So one of the things I try to do here on the podcast is I do try to have a good mix of guests. And I don't always agree with what the guests have to say, but I'm going to listen to them. And the reason that I want you to listen to all of them and not just bail out because they're not fitting your paradigm is to realize that they might say something that just kind of makes you believe something a little bit, or at least gets you thinking about things a little bit differently. So it's worth noting that there's probably no one paradigm that's going to work perfectly for everyone. You know, there's a lot of individuals out there that do quite well counting calories and going through that whole practice of eating less, but eating what they want, and they lose the weight. Okay, there's just as many people that fail, or if not more, that fail at doing that. So what's right for you? Well, if you can do the calorie counting, if you can do that, then that's great. That's awesome. Go do that. If it works for you, do it. But what I want you thinking about as you kind of go through these podcasts, as you kind of go through 2017, because we're now well into this new year, is I really want you thinking about why are you making certain health decisions? Is it based on science? Do you have something that's backing that up? Or is this just merely a peer pressure type thing where everybody else is doing it, therefore or everybody else is telling me that I'm crazy for what I'm about to do, so therefore I don't want to do it. They're trying to save me from myself. Now, if those monkeys had gotten to the top and gotten the banana, I think they'd have been more than happy with their choice to climb up the pole. But they got sprayed by water instead and didn't get the banana. At least the first monkeys did. Now there's just monkeys out there that really don't know what they're talking about. They haven't experienced what you're thinking about. So taking the time to understand the science, taking the time to understand that people might fight you over your beliefs, even though they really don't have any true backing for why they're saying what they're saying. You know, it can be we know that fats are bad for you, or we know that, the water in our tap is perfectly healthy, or we know, that this is not going to happen. The government wouldn't let that happen. But you've listened to this podcast long enough, some of that stuff does happen. So it's worth thinking about the paradigms that are in your life and what decisions you're making, why you're making those decisions. Because if you really ever want to fix a habit, really get rid of a bad habit, you need to understand those triggers. You need to understand yourself at that mental level of why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you're doing the things you're doing. That simple little approach is going to help you get to a better state of health and fitness. And I wanted to tell you the story of the three monkeys because I want you to be thinking about it from both perspectives, not just your health. I mean, are you pulling people back and keeping people from reaching their full potential? And what's driving your decisions to do that? So again, as we go through this year, I really want you focused on educating yourself about your health and fitness, because taking the time to learn, apply, and see how it works for you is going to put you in a much better place to live a healthy and fit life. There is no one size fits all in this thing. You're going to have to find something that truly fits within your lifestyle so you can be successful. Otherwise, you're probably not. You're going to flounder. And I want you to get the best results you can get. That's why I like to bring on a good myriad of guests, because some of you may want to try the vegetarian lifestyle. Some of you might want to go into ketosis. Some of you might want to just try to do the calorie counting and work your butt off to get it done. All three of those can be effective for health and fitness if you understand the approach and you apply it appropriately. They all can be healthy, good approaches for someone to take. But before you'll know what to do, you should know why. Why does this work? Why do I trust this? Why is there anything that I've been misled to believe that really isn't factually true? And so I think, again, I keep saying this, but as you go into this year, this is the year to open up your eyes about health and fitness, about the way you act and feel around food and fitness and health and all those different things, because it's the mind game that's going to get you to the finish line. It's not the physical, will my body give up on me kind of thing. It truly is, are you going to do the right things? We had a guest on the other day, and I loved what he said. He said the trajectory you're on right now is going to determine where you end up. And so I really want you to take this time to be thinking about why you're doing what you're doing and set a better trajectory. Even if it's just a little bit every day over the course of time is going to mean a big, big difference. So I guess the short of this is don't be a monkey. Be a little bit smarter about your health and fitness decisions. Take the time to educate yourself. I'll keep trying to bring on great guests to provide that type of information to help you make the best decisions. When you hear something that resonates with you, go pick up the book. Really dive into that topic so you have a good foundation for why and what you're doing. And it's not just something that someone told you once or that you think the government believes or whatever. Just, again, get into this, get into learning about this. Your body is the most important thing you have going for you right now. And keeping you healthy and fit should be one of your number one objectives. And knowing how to do that is extremely important. So I thank you for your time today. I know this is kind of a short and unusual episode for me, but it was something that was really top of mind that I felt like I needed to share with you today. So before you go, I want to ask you to do two things. One for someone else and one for yourself. This was a really good episode, and I hope that you'll share it with someone through your social media, through conversations, through email, however. But do share this with someone. I think that a lot of folks will get value from this the way that you have. So again, please do share this. And now I want you to do something for yourself. I want you to go check out Surefire Results for Weight Loss. It's a program where I basically compiled all of the things that I typically tell my clients to do as far as base nutrition, base fitness to lose weight. And it's a very simple program, very simple lifestyle changes. It's 28 days, and I guarantee it's going to work for you. Just go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/surefire and check it out today. On episode 205 of the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, we meet Guru Jagat and discuss her book, Invincible Living. Until then, have a happy and healthy day.